Welcome back to Sun News Live. One of Sun's very own is about to be a Hall of Famer. Edmonton Sun columnist Terry Jones will be inducted into the media section of the Hockey Hall of Fame.
The reason I'm sitting in front of the big Stanley Cup in the background is the publisher of the Edmonton Sun, John Caputo, told me today, this must feel what happened to you today to be exactly the writer's version of what it would be like to win the Stanley Cup, and that's pretty close. The news that broke today is that I've won the Elmer Ferguson Award, which is entrance into the media section of the Hockey Hall of Fame, and I can't express to you how thrilling something like this is to a Canadian sports writer. As a columnist, I write more than hockey, but there is no singular thing that you can, no greater honor than being in that Canadian Hockey Hall of Fame. And it's just, you know, Wayne Gretzky called me within an hour of the news coming out, and I've had hundreds of emails and Twitters, and it's just been the absolute most fantastic day of my career, and I just can't express it more than that. It's going to be so great to be able to have that weekend with the Hall of Famers. It's just absolutely been outstanding, and I thank you all for anything that you've sent me or whatever, and for being readers all these years. Thanks again, and I'm Terry Jones at large.
Well, there he is there, and here he is here. Terry Jones, well done, my friend. Congratulations, the Hockey Hall of Fame. Now, every player doesn't say they want to go into the Hall of Fame when they start their career. What do writers say when you hear about this? I mean, it's got to be something else.
That's funny. I wanted to go in the Hockey Hall of Fame when I began, but I wanted to be like with Terry Sawchuk, my hero up there. I was a goalie. And a funny thing happened to me in grade 7. I won an Remembrance Day essay contest,
right.
$10 first prize, 500 words, and I won. And they put it on the front page of the Lacombe Globe, and I had to go in for the grip and grin check presentation. And the guys that were running the paper, I told them that, you know, their sports section wasn't much, and with their minor hockey coverage and everything, so they hired me at $4 a week. And I got a whole new set of idols, and that's the guys you're talking about.
There you go. See, I wanted to be Jacques Plante when I was growing up. I thought, there's a guy who invented the goalie mask.
You look good in a mask. No.
I got a face for TV. No, that's why I wear a mask. But yeah, being a goalie would be one thing, but we're really happy you didn't make it as a goalie, because I've read your columns for years, and I've got to say, I've disagreed with some things you've said, but for the most part, boy, you know what you're doing out there, and that's the good thing. Going into the Hockey Hall of Fame as a sports writer is a great accomplishment. But when they first call you and say, Terry, you're going to the Hall of Fame, what's your first reaction when you hear that?
Well, my first reaction was I was starting to wonder if I'd ever get there, to be honest with you, because most of the people that are in there are full-time hockey writers, and I've been known to cover the odd figure skating event and the odd curling event. And I was wondering if that may have made my time.
Well, they all have Hall of Fames too, you know.
They haven't called yet.
You never know. You never know.
And but I mean, it's after they tell you. I mean, you're stunned or flabbergasted or honored or whatever word you want to use, all of those.
Yeah.
But then the reaction starts coming. I mean, it couldn't have been 30 minutes and Gretzky called, and you know, then Messier and a whole host of hockey people. And from that day, and we're talking way back in the spring here, I think there's been 2 days where somebody hasn't congratulated me, and it's been honest, heartfelt, and that's the best part of it, just absolutely the best part of it.
When something like this happens, it's a singular honor in anybody's career, no matter what vocation they're in. It gives you a pause. You got a chance to reflect on your career. You look back at the length and breadth of what you've accomplished and say, boy, I got someplace. What do you think of what you've done in these years?
To be honest with you, I've been kind of cursing the hockey gods of late for that team I've been covering there, because I've been thinking.
I'm a Toronto fan.
I do not know your pain. But I mean, I figured the hockey gods were punishing me for what I saw on the front end of my career.
Yeah.
And then this happens to me, and all of a sudden I'm watching a team out there that
oh boy.
I'm seeing a couple of kids that remind me of a couple of kids that I saw a long time ago. And there will never be another Wayne Gretzky, and there will never be another Mark Messier. But every odd shift there, you see a little something that Taylor Hall and Nugent Hopkins are doing that
kind of gets you excited.
Reminds me of something back then.
Well, I don't think anybody who loves hockey, and I love hockey, did not admire what the Edmonton Oilers did in the '80s. That great team. I mean, I grew up watching Wayne Gretzky from when I was a little kid. The Scotiabank Hockey College had this thing. It was all about Wayne Gretzky. It seemed like. What was it like being there firsthand for the greatest player in our generation or any generation?
Well, I mean, it's actually turned into one of the, I don't know, claims of fame or whatever you want to call it, because I wrote the first book on Gretzky, and that went 3 different years and upgraded, redone editions, and also wrote the last book of his career, An Oiler Forever, which was published by the Sun, and. That was like a 380-page, glossy, gorgeous publication. That was beautiful. And but I look back and people are asking me what's memory here and there and all that sort of thing. Yeah. And the stupid thing is the memory I love the most, I think, was the very first game they played. It was before they played. It was down in the bowels of Chicago Stadium, and you'd figure all these kids would be tied up and nervous, and they're out playing ball hockey in the hall. And they had that attitude for the rest of the way. It was wonderful stuff.
That irreverence is the type of thing that really made them champions, the fact that they didn't care what was in front of them. And obviously you cared because you wrote about it for so many years. And Terry, you got to say, from everybody here at Sun News, it's an honor, it's a privilege, and congratulations. And
I thank you, and I'm going to throw the punchline to that story about the essay contest.
I'll fire it up.
I found out several years later I was the only entry. The whole thing you're about to be based on being the only entry.
For you. That's why you're in the Hall of Fame. Terry Jones, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us today. Coming up here, you get your say. The web poll is coming up right after the break. Terry, once again, out.